Inspired by our German artisan roots, Süß Caramel has redefined the art of caramel making. Slow crafted, all natural, and preservative free with uncompromising standards. Cooked gently in small batches to create velvety textures and layers of flavor like no other caramel you've ever experienced. It is our sincere hope that you enjoy each Süß Caramel as much as we enjoy making it for you. I'm Tammy Fahey, and I never tire of hearing how much people enjoy my caramels. Please visit SüßCaramel.com to place your order and to see a listing of stores that carry our amazing caramels.
The views and opinions of the following show do not reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
Welcome to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herman, a leading expert in professional coaching, clinical hypnosis, and energy clearing. Lois is an award-winning author of Chronicles of Hope. She has decades of experience in advanced hypnosis techniques, has conducted highly effective success coaching programs that have helped clients discover ways to achieve success, empower themselves, their families, as well as holistic practitioners to expand their practices. Get ready to be empowered with your host, Lois Herman.
Hello and welcome to Inspiring Hope. I am your host, Lois Herman, and I'm here to inspire you with positive messages as we celebrate everyday people who are making a difference in our world. When we focus our thoughts and energies on what we love to do, we create powerful shifts that cause us to be more positive and peaceful. As we lift our energy, we empower everyone around us. If we each do what we can to make small shifts in awareness, from kindness to healthy habits and simple happiness, we create ripples of hope. Join us as catalysts for positive change for our families, our communities, and our world at large. I hope you are inspired by today's show. And welcome to this magnificent autumn season of change. The colors are brilliant, the weather is cooler, the air is fresh. It's a time of preparation, a time of making ready, a time of embracing the colors of yellow, orange, and red. These are colors of courage, of creativity, of strength. What are you doing in this time of great change? Are you paralyzed with fear, with anger, with rage, or confusion? Or are you embracing this season of change and doing what you can to prepare for and contribute to the betterment of your world and mine? In my recent book, Chronicles of Hope, The Collective, guidance was given to me to share insights with humanity before it's too late. I do know that everything is perfectly arranged in divine timing as we're all waking up to truth in our own time and to our own unique abilities. Many lightworkers are ascending to the awareness of their mission in life, their purposeful need to bring peace to our world, even at the risk of disturbing their own personal situation. Many people are embracing the light of love and holding space for peace to settle into our world. Others are unsung heroes, light warriors who are valiantly fighting the darkness, the shadow that has shrouded the innocent lambs who are being cunningly deceived and have been led by false narratives for many, many, many years. Many who have dealt with the shadow side of life know exactly what I'm talking about. In Chronicles of Hope, The Collective, the God Ray tells us of the importance of truth, honesty, and integrity, that it is ethics and morality that define a healthy civilization. In our current civilization, our governing leaders have been unhealthy for a long, long time. For decades, even centuries, these dark workers are out to control the masses. They are self-serving, driven by their own greed, and use fear-based tactics in order to maintain control. Those who are fighting to embrace peace are unsung heroes who are battling against unseen wavelength technology, censorship, historical bias, societal programming, and mental techniques that serve to persuade innocent minds into confusion, fear, anger, and despair. What if we could do our own investigation, change our minds, and step into our own self-determination? What if we saw the real truth of what is going on and woke up out of the slumber of illusion? Many are doing just that. We are waking up to truth. We are taking control of our own minds, stepping into our power, which will drive our ultimate destinies. The Archangel Samael tells us, throughout time and throughout the universe, evolution is along a single path. Civilizations can end in failure, where they simply die, obliterate themselves, or succumb to some external force. Or they can end in enlightenment. The current state of our civilization on Earth is considerably less evolved than earlier civilizations. Many leaders in history of our Earth have used the principle of hatred to build power for themselves. They channel the unfocused hatred of people who become their followers. In my book, one of my amazing editors discouraged me from using the reference of Columbo. I don't know if many of you know of the 70s detective. He was in a 70s or 80s detective series, Columbo, kind of a disheveled detective that everybody just ignored. He annoyed people. And yet, he asked the right questions. He asked the curious questions. He looked beyond the surface. And he always got the right answers. And I ask you to ask yourself, do you have unfocused hatred? Who is it that you say that you hate? And why do you hate this person? Is it because of something they have specifically done to you? Or do you hate because you've been trained to hate? Are you following along with the hatred of your friends and others of society just to fit in? Have you truly taken the time to be like Columbo and investigate the origin of your hatred? When you look beyond the information that is being fed to you, when you dig deeper and seek to look for truth, you just might be surprised by what you find. You're listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herman at WSMN 1590 AM and 95.3 FM. We're here every Sunday morning bringing inspirational messages and people who are doing inspiring things. And I'd like to invite you to do an experiment with me. For 1 week, let's turn off the TV and listen only to the sounds of nature, the chirping of the birds, the rustling of the leaves, the scampering of small animals. Listen to hopeful stations on the radio and play music that sings to your soul. I recently heard a father-daughter duet, and that music has been stuck with me ever since. Fly me to the moon and let me swing upon the stars. And that just gives me, it uplifts me, it keeps me feeling happy and uplifting. So let's pay attention to the negative rhetoric in the public eye and seek those who are uplifting and positive. Let's listen openly to each other without the conflict of criticism or fanaticism. Let's join together in a prayer of love, a meditation that invites the positive light of peace on earth. If we did this, what do you think the outcome will be? What if we were to intend the light of love to everyone and everything on our planet, setting aside all personal bias? Let's send the light of truth to everyone and everything. We know the light of truth will shine on the shadow of darkness, and we will become aware of the covert misdirection many have been led to believe. Our collective consciousness has the ability to shift our world to be more positive. With pure intention, our collective energy serves to create an incredible power from the light of love, which shifts the negative surrounding our world and brings the opportunity of healing for humanity. The only way to shift the darkness is to send love and light. You can't fight hate with hate. The only way the darkness can win is if we give in to that power, if we give in to the lower level vibrations of fear, blame, shame, and guilt. Let us shine the light of love on our world, and the darkness will disappear in the place of love. Tell yourself, I will not fight against war. I will stand for peace and shine the light of love to illuminate and dissipate the darkness. Let us work together to raise our consciousness to that of peace, love, and hope. For this moment of time, slow down with me. Take a breath and a time out. Take a slow, gentle breath into your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth as if blowing out through a straw. This allows your body to oxygenate and relax. And as you do this, calm your busy mind by thinking about things that give you joy and hope. Whether actively walking along a warm, sandy beach or imagining a magical, colorful woodland path, whether swinging in your favorite hammock or on a star, take a moment and relax. It's important to deflect any negative energy you encounter by finding ways to shift your thoughts, which shifts your energy. Connect with nature and memories that give you joy. Listen to comforting, soothing music, or enjoy songs that make you sing or dance. Continue to shift your energy to be more positive, uplifted, and joyful. If you're at a place of peace and want to, I welcome you to send love to your family, your friends, to humanity, to our precious, precious planet. Send love from your heart. No matter what is going on around you, you can actively choose to be at peace. Distance yourself from thoughts and people who bring your energy down. It's important that you surround yourself with thoughts and people who are uplifting, who lift your energy. My dear friend and husband gave me this quote: "The best criticism of the bad is the practice of the better." Be the better. Take the road of truth, honesty, and integrity in all that you do. Pay attention to the darkness and shine the uplifting light of peace in all you do. The Chronicles of Hope books hold important guidelines for bringing the peace we need in our civilization today. If you wish to be a catalyst for positive change, they offer a recipe for what we can do to be aware, to shift our energy to the positive, individually and collectively. You can purchase the books on Amazon or at the chroniclesofhope.net website. You're also welcome to join the Inspiring Hope community discussions that are held the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. You can register at the Chronicles of Hope website. Together, our mission is to shift humanity's energy as catalysts for positive change. Thank you for joining us today and to help spread the word of peace, love, and light. You are listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herman at WSMN 1590 and 95.3 FM. We're here every Sunday morning celebrating, bringing hope and positive energy for you. Are you one who is driven by the need to learn, to grow, and to communicate with others? Many health practitioners are wonderful at helping others, yet they're unable to sustain their business because they're unfamiliar or uncomfortable with getting their information to the world. My guest today shares her inspiring story of how she rose above the limitations that most small business owners have. She used the power of communication to spread the word and help others do the same. I am delighted to introduce an amazingly positive businesswoman, a powerhouse in networking, an amazing strategist who saw opportunities and acted on them. Please help me welcome Selena D. Valentine, personal development expert and founder of HypnoBiz. Hello, Selena. Are you there with us today?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here with you, Lois.
Oh, I'm thrilled that you're here, and you're calling in. You're calling in from New York. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm calling in from Manhattan, New York City.
And are you in your? And this is in a new home you're in too, right?
Oh yes, I've just moved and just loving all the greenery, all the trees, and all these wonderful things in my new environment.
How wonderful! And that's a time of change for you, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, I think now is the time for change. If you look out and see what's happening in the world, I think this is a time for awakening, a time to reimagine our lives and, welcome in new energies and new opportunities and new creativity.
So, yes, tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to be a personal development expert.
Yes, well, I started in personal development, I would say about 12 years ago when I was seeking assistance with some personal issues I was dealing with. You know, there were family members that were passing away, and of course it's normal and natural for our family members to pass on, but there are stages of grief that we all go through when our loved ones pass on. So I sought the help of a hypnotherapist to help me deal with that grief. And it just worked so well for me, the way she was able to reframe the passing instead of a sad occasion. And she reframed it as a joyous occasion where I could just tap into those memories of the good times that I've had with the family members and all, the wonderful occasions, whether that's birthday parties or outings or just being together with that person. It's more so cherishing their life versus missing their life. And that really was the catalyst for me to dive into this world of personal development and mind power. And she sent out a newsletter to take the training to become a certified hypnotherapist. And that's really what I did. And I would say, in tragedy, or what we perceive as tragedy, there's always opportunity if we view it that way, if we have that positive mindset to reframe it. And that kind of started my journey into personal development.
And you're exactly right about shifting from grieving the loss into celebrating the life, celebrating all of those treasured memories that you have with a person, and it brings the energy up, and then it holds them in a very special place in your life and in your heart. And I do know many hypnotherapists. Many of us have come to this because of how it worked for us. And I agree with you that having gone through the process to see how well it works, that's a wonderful way to find yourself in a whole new career.
It's so true. And most other therapists that I speak to, they come to know, the personal development field or the same exact way. We're going through something and we seek assistance, and it works so well in our lives that we actually become evangelists for this new technology, whether that's, neurolinguistic programming, whether that's visualization, meditation, hypnotherapy, whatever it is. It works so well for us that we want to share it with as many people as possible so that way they're getting those wins in their lives as well.
Absolutely. And how many people do you know that share a similar story? It worked for me, and I just really want to help other people. And yet what happens is if they're not skilled at doing the business side of it, then they end up missing opportunities, shall we say, to shine their light, to share their gifts. And many of us hypnotists, when we get together, we talk about in any given room of people, there are most of the people in that room would benefit from the services we offer, but we're very shy about wanting to toot our horn or it's many people consider it bragging, and yet I consider it that this is an opportunity to help other people to shift their lives.
It's so true. I meet so many other therapists, and they're great at, doing the therapy and helping people, but they're not great at advertising themselves, at letting the world know that they're available and they're open for business and they're open to see clients. So that's where I come in. I help therapists get the word out, reach as many people as possible. So not only are they're helping, thousands and thousands of people around the world, but they're also helping themselves financially. So that way they're not worried about their livelihood. They can continue doing what they love most, which is helping people. And we just help them to bring the business side of it.
Exactly. And you come from a business background yourself, is that right?
Yes, absolutely. I went to college for business administration. And in New York City, as you know, it's a very business town.
Yes.
So it's really natural to be in this energy and want to grow yourself, expand yourself. I mean, Wall Street is in New York City, so it kind of gives you an idea of the town. It's a very ambitious town. So I just blended the business side with the therapy side. And for me, it was like a match made in heaven.
And that's why you are so successful and why you are so successful at helping others be successful. Because most therapists that I know, they come from a place of caring without that business background. And the business background is what people need in order to acknowledge what they need to do to get the message out there. And I know even for myself, when I first started my practice, 25 or more years ago, I really struggled because I didn't have as strong a business background as I could. And when I reinvented myself and started my practice a good 8 years ago, this time I decided to hire a coach. And he helped me to truly establish it as a business instead of, how many people can I do Reiki for? How many people can I help? You have to approach the healing modalities as a specific business with a business mindset. And that's what many people don't realize.
Yeah, it's so true. In New York City, you could think of the theater district, right? They call it show business. But without business, there is no show.
Exactly.
So people need to know about you. People need to know that you exist. You don't want to be, the best kept secret in town. People need to know that whether they have weight loss issues or they want to stop smoking or stress, they need to know who to go to. So if you haven't put yourself out there, if you don't have a website, if you're not going to marketing events, if you don't know about Facebook ads or email marketing, people won't find you. And clients aren't going to come to your house and knock on your door and say, can you help me? They need an easy way to say, I have this issue. I know of this person, Lois Herman. Let me reach out to her. She can help me, or my family members, or my colleagues, or whomever it is. You want to be top of mind. And you need to learn as therapists how to get yourself into that top of mind position where you are the first person that they are calling.
Exactly. I often will say to clients, because I do coach business people as well, and I'll say, the fish aren't just going to jump on the pier. You've got to put your hook in the water. And that's a good analogy. Even when people say, well, I'd really love to find the love of my life, but I'm sitting at home wishing. It's like, wishing is fine. But it comes with action. You must take an action. And that's what you're talking about. And I want to just interrupt a minute and let people who are listening know that you are listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herman at WSMN 1590 AM and 95.3 FM. And we're here this morning with Selena D. Valentine, a personal development coach and business expert calling in from New York City. So, Selena, tell us what inspired you to do what you do. How did you come to be this expert?
Well, I would have to say again, just from my personal experience, just seeing how hypnotherapy helped me and then going through the process of becoming certified and realizing that this modality could help millions of people around the world, and meeting and networking and connecting with fellow therapists at events and conferences, and just hearing their stories that they're highly qualified, but they don't have enough clients. And I said, we know too much. We can do too much for society, for humanity, to not have clients to teach this to or to help. And that's when I decided to create the HypnoBiz brand of conferences, which started in New York City in 2018 and have since branched into Canada and Australia and Europe. And I said, my next chapter is to help in life, is to help therapists get their message out, get this modality out. So that way we are contributing to society in a larger way, in a very natural way. For everyone listening, hypnotherapy is a natural modality. We go into hypnotherapy all day long, whether we're driving and we mix an exit, or we at the movie theater, or we engulfed in a great book where time just escapes us. We are all in a state of hypnotherapy every day. And what I want to do is just get that out to the masses, that hypnotherapy can be a beautiful modality for you to achieve your goals or to break any bad habits that you want to eliminate or get rid of. Or if you want to just achieve goals that are, on your bucket list or whatever. Hypnotherapy is a really effective, a fast way of helping you to achieve it, and it's all natural.
Absolutely, and you are so eloquent at talking about it. It is amazing. And one of the things that I wanted to point out, I met you at a conference. I actually crossed paths with you at several conferences last year, and what I was impressed with is I was scheduled to present at 6 conferences this year, and a couple of them were canceled. Many of them went virtual. Your conference, it was very interesting. You just stepped right up, took the bull by the horns, and said, "Okay, folks, we are going virtual, global, boom." There was no hesitation. It was as if you just saw the writing on the wall, and you took action. And that's what happens with many people when they're timid, when they're reluctant to take an action. What I see in your energy and why you are so successful is that can-do, take an action personality. Can you tell us a little bit about how this affects you and how this is you? Tell us about this.
Yes, and I think it's also a function of which, I credit again to hypnotherapy, building up your self-esteem and building up your self-confidence that you can be, do, or have anything. And when you have that mindset, when you have that energy, when unexpected things come your way, because you have that belief in yourself, you just take action. Now, of course, you analyze that action, you plan it out. For myself, I work with my team, and then we take action, but we're always taking action that we believe will benefit us and the company and the people at large that we want to affect. So, for example, I just mentioned how we had all these conferences, physical conferences around the world, and we were in Australia at our Australian conference in March, and that's when the COVID-19 hit really badly. Now, I had to get back to New York really quickly because I didn't want to get shut out of the country with the borders closing. And immediately when I got back to the States, we had about 3 other conferences on the docket. And I said, I don't know what's going on with this virus or what's going on in the world, but instead of us trying to play catch up, why don't we get ahead of the story and just create a global virtual summit? So that way people feel comfortable. They can learn right from the comfort of their home on video, get some top-notch people, therapists from all around the world, teaching different modalities such as health, business, and clinical. And, we had 80 international presenters. I mean, it was attended by people all around the world. It was very successful. We were very happy. And I credit that to having confidence in yourself and your abilities that you can make things happen and taking that positive action. And I just truly believe when you have good intentions, when your intention is pure to help people, to learn, to grow, I just truly believe it all works out for you. And that's what happened with us. It's all about the energy that you are projecting, the energy that you want to send out into the world. And I think if it's pure, I truly believe you get rewarded.
And I also love the fact that you talked about a team. I think that that is so critical. I know for myself with the Chronicles of Hope, when I was asked to get this message out to the world, I was a little bit dumbstruck. And they said, look to your team. And there have been people who have surfaced, people who continue to surface, who have gravitated towards this goal, this message, this mission. And I can't even say how I could have never done this without a team. Both my personal business, I have a fantastic networking, marketing, webmaster team. And then in the Chronicles of Hope, there's a wonderful, wonderful team. And we don't do this alone. We are here as a collective of people trusting each other, and together we create the momentum. And that's what I know that from you, that often when I'm working with you, I'm also working with teams of people who have expertise.
It's so true. And it's so important. I tell people to, get a team around you. Now, of course, if you're a new business owner, if you're a new therapist, you may not, can afford a team, and that's okay. Your team could be your spouse or your friend that's in business, or maybe your accountant or someone else that you don't have to pay right away, or you could barter or do something else like that. But it's a great idea to bounce off ideas. I mean, most big companies, they have a board of directors.
Right.
That's their team, because they want to, they want to bounce ideas. They want to make the correct course of action, or, just get a second opinion or second eyes on things. So you almost want to operate your therapy practice or your business similarly to large corporations where they have that board. And basically that's just a team of people to help you to get from point A to point Z, and it's not all in just your own head and you're only making the decision. Because sometimes we're limited by our mindset, and it takes sometimes another person to say, have you thought about this? Mm-hmm. Or what do you think about, this strategy or this? And then it's like an aha moment. You're like, I never thought about that, So it's always great to just not work solo, but to get advice, strategy, opinions, thoughts from other people. If you can't afford a team in the beginning, barter it or use family members that are maybe in business.
And you're exactly right, because we can't be experts in everything. Most therapists have an expert in helping others, but we don't know about website stuff. I've learned over the years how to add things to my website, but I still really trust my webmaster for the behind-the-scenes webhook stuff that there's no way I would know. And if I were to spend time trying to learn that, it would take away from my care for my clients. So what we have to do is celebrate our own expertise and then rely on the trusted people that are helping us. Even here at the studio, I have my dear Allison here. She's our soundboard expert, and she's the one that controls all of the things that are going on. All I get to do is step in and talk. And if it weren't for Allison, there's no way I could do this radio show. So we have to look to the expertise of others, and we work together to bring the message.
It's so true. We will become more successful with that strategy and that mindset of having a team versus doing everything yourself. And I'm right with you with websites. I don't do websites. I don't know how to do websites. I haven't learned HTML. And so I give that to my web designer, the expert. And what's great about that as well, and I feel really great about it, is because I'm also contributing to the economy by paying this person.
Exactly.
He has a family too. So, it goes all around and round and round. So I feel really confident. I'm giving him money to do my website. And then when people, buy my products and services, they give me money. And it just goes all around. So it's great to hire the experts, and it's also great for the economy. You're helping other people. So I just feel it's a win-win all the way around.
You're exactly right. And it becomes a long-term relationship. I was actually thinking about my webmaster. We've been together probably, I want to say at least 7 years. And, he knows my business inside and out, and he advises all the time, and he's very pragmatic, and I love that about him. And I'll go off on a tangent, and he'll say, have you thought about this? So you get to, again, it's that team, it's that board of directors that are directing your effort, your business. And that's the secret is, try different people on also, because when I first started my business, I did have a friend build the website for me, and it wasn't so good. So when I found myself getting successful and I was able to actually pay for the expertise, then I was able to shift to someone who kind of cleaned up the mess and has been with me ever since. But, it's an investment in your business, and you're investing in your business to be able to invest in helping others. And it's the same thing with education. And I know that's a huge thing that you espouse, is teaching others. That's one of the signatures that I see with you, is that you shine the light and you help others to learn. And that's another big part of who you are. It's the business strategist and a lifetime learner, and someone who presents opportunities for people to learn.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you pegged it. You know me. I feel that when you learn, you also earn, but you also grow as a person. And you can only do that by learning. And that could be from books, that could be from video programs, that could be from seminars, that could be from conferences, whatever it is. And that's the one thing people could never take away from you, is your education in areas. And it will always serve you well. So I'm a big proponent to learning, especially personal development and personal growth. These things aren't really taught in schools. I wasn't taught this, but I think these are the most important skills that a human being can learn and know, how to be in the world, how to live in the world, how to communicate with others, how to make friends, how to have relationships, how to feel confident and comfortable enough to stand on stage and give a speech. These are all personal development skills. And that's what I'm all about. And that's what we do at HypnoBiz. And now we've just launched the HypnoBiz Global Marketplace, which you are an instructor.
Yes.
And it's for people around the world to learn and grow themselves, whether that's in the spiritual realm, whether that's in health areas, whether that's in business areas. And that's what I'm all about. That's what we're all about at HypnoBiz.
I know when I attended your global market, your virtual global summit, I loved that one day it was business focused, another day it was spiritual focused, another day it was clinical focused, and I could sit there and binge watch all these amazing professionals, and I had the opportunity to watch them later. But I got some valuable nuggets from some of the presenters. Again, some of these people were from Australia. I may never have an opportunity to go to Australia, although that's on my bucket list. I would love to go there someday. But to be able to learn from people around the world, I thought that the way that you organized it and the way that you're continuing to organize, and you're fantastic at promoting. Even if you're on Facebook with you, you're always adding positive energy and engaging with people. And I admire the way that you're, it's like there's a sense of courage in what you're doing that the average clinical person is shy of, let me say.
Yeah, we have our HypnoBiz groups, which is, we consider our tribe. And you're in there, and you go in there, and it's all positivity. There's no negativity allowed in that group. It's all about encouraging each other, giving us positive messages and images, and rooting for each other. And, again, that's what HypnoBiz is all about. We want people to live their best lives, to be all that they can be and express themselves in a safe environment. We want to encourage you. We want to help you to get out of your shell. Whatever issues you have, you can learn from one of our instructors or learn from one of our video programs. and that you don't have to suffer in silence. There's a community of people that want you to be the best version of yourself. And that's what we really pride ourselves in HypnoBiz.
And it's the biz part too. You know, I like I said, I attend many different seminars and conferences over the years, and in every year I attend a multitude of different conferences, and many of them are wonderful at presenting specific techniques on how to help your clients. However, many of them do not add the business component. And that's one of the unique pieces that you offer is with your HypnoBiz. You've got best of both worlds. You've got the opportunity to learn how to better, well, not only yourself and better your clients or patients, but you're also teaching business. You've got an opportunity to learn from people about how to structure your business, how to feel good about what it is that you're offering from all these experts who have done it over the years.
Yeah, and that is so crucial again. That is so important because you don't want to be the best kept secret. So, for example, on the business track that we had at the HypnoBiz Global Virtual Summit, and of course with our instructors, there's a session about how to take your practice online. When the pandemic hit, brick and mortar didn't look so great for people because there a lot of states were shut down. You couldn't do in-person sessions. So it's important for therapists to know immediately, how do I take my practice online? What are the tech setup that I need? Do I need to use Google Hangouts? Do I need to use Zoom? How do I do that? What microphone should I use? What type of webcam should I get? So that's a valuable, presentation that I feel like our therapists needed. Email marketing. There's a strategy to email marketing. If you have a list, which every person should have on their website, you should be able, collect emails. How are you communicating to the people that subscribe to your newsletter, your website? Are you doing video marketing? Are you doing videos like on your social media channels? I know this interview is also going on your YouTube. Some people don't know how to do that or set that up. And I'm sure you realize how important it is because not everybody will listen to it now, but they can replay it and watch it later on your YouTube channel or Facebook ads. So these are very important for practitioners. Or any type of professional, whether you're a dentist or whether, whatever type of profession you have, you need to learn these 21st century tools and techniques to get the word out about yourself and your business.
And that is so true. I know I have been doing the Zoom sessions and virtual sessions for years. However, when COVID hit and I was, I made a decision to go completely virtual. And it was one of the lectures that I took from the virtual the global summit that you held that gave me. I already had several things already in play, but there were things that the presenter offered that I hadn't thought about, and I was like, oh my gosh! So it was wonderful to have those tools readily available that are teaching me how to do what I need to do. And the same thing, I just recently recorded several videos, and the videos were based on a class. The way that I structured the video was based on a class that I took at your conference. And the beautiful part about it being virtual was I was able to listen to that class, that instructor, multiple times. Usually I take copious notes and then I think, oh gosh, I wish I'd have heard, I'd have paid closer attention to this. But when you've got the opportunity to listen to something virtual, you can go back and replay it and go, oh, now I get it. So that was one of the beautiful things about the way that your team structured this to where we could pick and choose. There were some classes that really didn't interest me personally, and others, like I said, I listened to multiple times. And that was the beauty of the way that this was structured.
Yeah, and I think now, and thank you so much for saying that. And, that's part of the reason why we do what we do. And I so appreciate you, is now is the time to learn. Now is the time to expand our knowledge, expand, our horizons, learn different techniques, modalities, whatever it is, because the majority of us are home now. Mm-hmm. I know so many practitioners who have given up their offices and are now home doing sessions on Zoom, just like yourself. So now that we have so much time at home and so some more downtime because we're not so busy seeing clients back to back in our offices or have to travel to our offices and travel back and commute, use that time to educate yourself. Use that time to get better, to expand your knowledge. That's what I believe.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I have noticed that's working virtual is I've given myself, I used to give 15 minutes in between clients when I was in a brick and mortar business and, would see the clients back to back. Now I've adjusted my schedule to where I give myself a full half an hour between clients for a couple of reasons. One, sometimes if it's you might have technical difficulties logging in, and I want to make sure to give my client the full time so that I've got the flexibility to go over a little bit. And the other piece is because we are being bombarded with technology, which is beneficial, it also can be draining to our physical body. So I give myself that extra padded time to get up, to walk outside, to go to get some movement in my body, to go get some water, to go outside and sit and debrief, just to escape from the technology and the situation. So that's one of the things that I have changed, is to give myself, because I don't have the commute, I now have a little bit more time that I can allocate to giving me some separation between clients. So that's a little nugget that I have discovered in this new Zoom-based virtual session world that we live in.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. And that's the great thing about, seeing clients in this new virtual world. We're figuring out what works best for us and what works best for our client, and it's beautiful in the comfort of our own home.
And the clients are actually really benefiting, because with hypnosis, we are having people go into and out of trance states. And what happens is you get them in this almost a euphoric place at the end. And then if you were in a brick and mortar business, you'd say, okay, come back, get in your car and go. And because when they're zooming in, shall we say, and zoning out from home, I'm encouraging them just to stay right there on your couch or in your bed and continue to process what you've just experienced. Take time to write it down. They are actually loving the fact that they don't have to fight traffic and that they can take the time to process what they've experienced. My clients are really, really loving the opportunity to be at home, avoid the craziness of traffic and parking and all that, and then taking the time to allow themselves to fully integrate what they've just experienced. So I find it a win-win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're comfortable in their own space. They're so happy. You don't have to worry about the rain or the snow or if it's cold or if it's too hot. When you're in your own space, your own environment, when you're in trance or going out of trance, you're like, oh, this is heaven.
And I actually had
it's familiar to you.
Yes, I had one gentleman say, I think that I'm able to go to relax more because I am in my space. I think I might be more uncomfortable if I was in your space, in a space that was not familiar to me. Here in my space, I can really relax because I know I don't have to go anywhere. Nobody's going to bother me. I'm safe. And that it adds to the value of what we're doing. So I just wanted to let people know that you're listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herman at WSMN 1590 AM and 95.3 FM. We're here every Sunday morning and off and on actually through the week. Today we're here speaking with an amazing businesswoman, personal development coach, calling in from New York City, Selena D. Valentine. And Selena, tell us, what do you feel like you do to help inspire others?
I truly feel that I give people like you, like Chronicles of Hope. I give people hope that no matter where you are or what you're going through in this life, you can reach out to professionals that can assist you. I'm living proof. It worked for me. When I was in grief, when my grandmother passed away, And it can happen for you too. Reach out to professionals, whether that's a hypnotherapist or a traditional therapist or whatever you want to call it. There are people that want you to live your best life, that want you to get out of pain, that want you to get out of grief, that want you to achieve your goals. And I believe that's what we're doing at HypnoBiz and the HypnoBiz Global Marketplace. We're helping people to live their lives fully without any hindrance at all.
And you're also giving professionals the opportunity to continue to what's called sharpen the saw, to continue to grow and to learn, because as I learn, I can turn around and offer my clients even better service. It's a continual process improvement from a business perspective, right? We must take care to learn, to grow, so that we can then be, what is the saying? The only person that you really should be better than tomorrow is the person you are today. So that involves education, learning, growing, being curious, investigating, and tell us a little bit about, you did get an opportunity to read Chronicles of Hope, The Collective, and you wrote a beautiful testimonial. May I read it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What you said was Chronicles of Hope is essential reading for anyone seeking true inspiration and is timelier more now than ever. For those in search of wisdom that transcends generations, look no further than this special collection. Enjoy. How beautiful. You've got quite the gift for words.
Thank you. And I love what you're doing, I must say. With this program that you're reaching out to the masses, to the world, enlightening them from your Chronicles of Hope book. I was drawn to you at that conference in Virginia, and I remember purchasing your book and reading it on the airplane, and just how these messages have come through you. It's almost like a channel. You know, it's like you're channeling these messages from this higher power, from this source, this energy, and it's really pure and raw. And I feel like the fact that you have written that down and given it to the world, it's just so beautiful, and it's healing. It's so much healing in your books.
Thank you. And I know that these messages that came through hypnotic trance, really, they were channeled through my client, and then as I am describing them, I become somewhat of a channel as I get downloaded information that says, point this out, point that out. I have learned to trust the higher wisdom of guidance and reach up and beyond the mundane, the everyday world that we see with the physical world, because there is another more ethereal world that's out there. I often will say, just because we can't see electricity doesn't mean it doesn't exist. These higher level energies that are coming through many people. I am only one person that is receiving messages like this, and I have been asked to please get them out. And you're right, this series of books is so timely for the situation we're finding ourselves in today, that we must shift to be more positive, no matter what we're doing, no matter where we are. Look to the people who are negative and send them light. Don't get engaged. Don't allow them to bring your energy down. Send them light and gravitate towards others that are of light, so that we can collectively bring the energy up. And so I thank you for your insight and for the work that you're doing, that you're called to do, to raise the energy of others who have so many gifts, but they don't know how to get it out to the world. And how do people find you and your work? How would people find you, Selena?
They can just go to hypnobiz.com. So that's hypnobiz.com. And you'll find information about our company, our program, our products. Our HypnoBiz Global Marketplace is actually launching tomorrow.
Nice.
So you'll find hundreds of therapy trainings, business trainings. Lois is there, and
thank
just
you
a
so
plethora
much
of resources to help you to live your best life, or if you're a practitioner, or if you want to learn business skills, you'll learn that as well.
Thank you, Selena, and thank you so much for being with us today. We're coming to an end of our time. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next week, be with you next week on Inspiring Hope. Meanwhile, look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day. God bless.